Hey, hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's hunting season. I'm looking for something. It is a creature known as the subscribe button. Very elusive. We've only managed to find 182 of these guys. We're hoping to find a total of 1,000. You think you can help me out? Awesome. If you manage to find one of these, make sure you tag it using the notification bell. This lets YouTube know that you want to see more of our videos. Oh, I gotta go. The warden's here. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These are the supposed ingredients to create girls. And in the show Powerpuff Girls, Professor Utonium uses these ingredients, according to the intro, to create the perfect little girl. In today's society, that is considered extremely creepy and would get you bashed upside the head a few thousand times with a metal bat. So we'll just say he's trying to create his own children, which is reasonable. Not many people can have children, and I'm pretty sure that is why Professor Utonium is trying to create his own children, because he can't have any of his own, for one reason or another. It's not really explained in the show, so that's really theory territory, and I'm not going to try to get into that. We're here today to convert the Powerpuff Girls into Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, which is possible, as I have found out. And this was going to be a complicated build, but I think I found the right combination to create the perfect Powerpuff Girls build. Let's get into it. Now, starting things off with the standard array system for our stats, because each of the Powerpuff Girls are relatively the same, except for a few key features. For Blossom, she is the leader of the group. She is the smartest, so her intelligence is going to be higher than the others. But the main stats that are going to be the same are strength, wisdom, and charisma. The reason why I chose charisma for our dump stat is because, well, they're 5-year-olds. And even in their universe, they are considered weird-looking. Which I think is something that should be taken into consideration if a reboot is to ever be made. Even in their universe, they look weird. Not to mention, they are living weapons. So, yeah, if a live-action remake ever does get created, like I've heard rumors of, then those factors need to be taken into consideration. Anyway, each of the Powerpuff Girls was made when Professor Utonium used sugar, spice, and everything nice to try to create his own children. But there was an accident with Chemical X. This will cause some problems with the build because Sorcerer uses Charisma. So, yeah, obviously we can't go with Sorcerer. Now, here are all the differences between the Powerpuff Girls. Since Blossom is the smartest one, her intelligence is going to be a 14. Bubbles is the fastest, so her dexterity is going to be a 14, while her intelligence is a 12. She's still smart. She did figure out how to use Chemical X to help heal a friendly squirrel. And Buttercup is going to have a constitution of 14 because she is the toughest fighter. Makes sense. Apologies for that unwarranted noise. Just some unexpected events going on, apparently. Moving on. Race is something that was a bit unclear. My first guess was to go with the Osama. Second was the Reborn because their bodies are manufactured. But I decided in the end to go with Custom Lineage and use the feat Observant with the skill Perception. Now, as you saw with our ability score increases, we went with a +2 to our strength and a +1 to our wisdom from the Observant feat. Now, for background, I went with the folk hero because they are folk heroes. And I did forget to put in the stats for folk hero. I do apologize. Let's go ahead and move on. We're going to start things off with the fighter, and I'll explain why once we get to our martial archetype. But the fighter is definitely a good start, as we do get a d10 for our hit die, with 10 plus our constitution modifier for our starting hit points. Which does mean that certain Powerpuff Girls are going to be more durable, as we see with Buttercup being a 14 in constitution. We get proficiencies in all armor and shields, as well as simple weapons and martial weapons. Saving throws in constitution and charisma. Strength and constitution. With skills being athletics and acrobatics. We get a fighting style. We're going to go with unarmed fighting. Since we do not use any weapons or shields at all, that means our unarmed strikes are going to be using a D8, which is pretty cool. We also get the feature Second Wind. Second level fighters get the ability Action Surge. Now we get 2 actions instead of just 1, though this feature can only be used once before we have to take a short or long rest. Level 3 fighters. Now this is where it gets interesting. We're going to go with the martial archetype Psy Warrior. Now I kinda lied. The real reason we're picking this martial archetype is going to be explained at 6th level. Was it 6? I think it was 6. It was either 6th or 7th. I think it was 7th. Anyway, it'll be explained a little bit later why we picked the Psy Warrior. But let's go ahead and go over the features. We get Psionic Power, which uses a D6 currently. We get the abilities Protective Field, which lets us reduce any damage done to one of our comrades by that D6. We also get Psionic Strike, which empowers one of our attacks damage output by that D6. And we also get Telekinetic Movement. This basically just lets us move objects or even creatures around a little bit. Nothing too special. Level 4 fighters gets an ability score improvement. Doesn't matter which Powerpuff Girl this is, you are going to be increasing your dexterity by 2. Now we're going to go ahead and multi-class, since all 3 of our Powerpuff Girls now meet the ability score requirement to multi-class into Monk. This will give us an extra D8 hit die, as well as extra hit points equal to 1d8, plus our Constitution modifier per Monk level. We get Unarmored Defense, which is 10 plus your Dexterity plus your Wisdom modifiers. You also get the Martial Arts feature. Now, other than the fact that our martial art die doesn't really matter since our unarmed strikes are already doing 1d8 damage, we do get to do some bonus attacks using our unarmed strikes, which is really useful. And not to mention, we also get Ki at 2nd level, which means that we are able to use features like Step of the Wind, which gives us a bonus to our walking speed in the form of using the dash or disengage action as a bonus action. We also get Unarmored Movement, which increases our speed currently by, I believe it was 5 feet or 10 feet. I can't remember which one. But either way, we get a bonus to our movement speed, which is important since one of the powers of the Powerpuff Girls is increased speed. With, of course, Bubbles being the fastest. We also get dedicated weapon, which, it's not that great. Third level monks, we get the monastic tradition of Way of the Sun Soul. This gives us our quote-unquote heat vision / fire production. Yeah, in the form of the Radiant Sun Bolt. We also get the feature Deflect Missiles and Key-Fueled Attack, which is kind of useful. It's different for everyone. It depends on who you are, how useful you find this feature. Moving on to level 4 monks, we get Slow Fall, Quicken Healing, and an ability score improvement. We're going to skip over the ability score improvement and grab a feat. Tavern Brawler. This will give us a +1 to our strength, proficiency in improvised weapons, as well as a few other features that are quite helpful. Level 5 Fighter and Level 5 Monk both get extra attacks, so we'll go ahead and just jump to Level 5 on both of them, but Monks also get access to Stunning Strike and Focused Aim. Level 6 Fighters gets an ability score improvement, increase your Powerpuff Girl by 2 points in Dexterity. Level 6 Monks get Key Empowered Strikes and Searing Arc Strike from their Sun Soul Monk. Now you have access to Burning Hands, which also could count as fire production or heat vision. Level 7 monks get Evasion and Stillness of Mind. Pretty useful. Level 7 fighters get Telekinetic Adept from their Psy Warrior. I knew it was level 7. Anyway, this gives us access to Psy-Powered Leap, which gives you a flying speed equal to twice your walking speed. So currently, you have a 25-foot walking speed. Double that, that's your flying speed. Pretty cool, huh? Level 8 fighters get an ability score improvement. Go ahead and once again increase your dexterity by 2 points. Level 8 monks get an ability score improvement as well. For this one, go ahead and increase your wisdom by 2 points. Now, we're going to split off a little bit here and go with Bubbles first, because since she is faster, we are going to need to increase our walking speed and flying speed at the same time, because again, that flying speed from level 7 fighter. On our movement improvement is pretty good. We can now walk across walls. Not really necessary for Bubbles since, well, yeah, she's just fast. But what's going to be important here is going to level 10 monk because of the feature Purity of Body, and your unarmored movement now increases to plus 20 feet. So you currently have a 30-foot walking speed, and thanks to our Psy-Empowered Leap, we have a 60-foot flying speed. Level 9 fighters get the feature Indomitable, with level 10 fighters getting Guarded Mind from their Psy Warrior. Now going over to Buttercup and Blossom, level 9 fighters get Indomitable, level 10 fighters get Guarded Mind from the Psy Warrior, level 11 fighters get extra attack once again. So now we can attack 3 times as part of our attack action instead of just once. My apologies, got tongue-tied there for a second. And finally, for level 12 fighter, just go ahead and go with the athlete feat. This will let us get up a lot easier. And that is it for today's build. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you would like to see more content like this, leave me a comment down below and tell me what character you would like to see next. Until next time, this has been Drayhan, and I am offline.